when I carried a nuke through a wormhole?
No, it's never come up.
Save New York?
Never heard that.
Recall that? A hostile alien army came charging through a hole in space. We're standing 300 feet below it. We're the Avengers. We can bust arms dealers all the live long day, but that up there, that's the end game. How are you guys planning on beating that?
Together.
We'll lose.
And we'll do that together too.
Why would you do that?
We're in the endgame now.
What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Avengers 4. So damn, did you see the thumbnail? Can I give props to Ultron26 who made the Iron Man in the thumbnail that has the Stark gauntlet in it. He also made my banner, so make sure to check him out on Instagram. One of the best designers there is on Instagram. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We cover Marvel, DC and pop culture stuff all week long. And also, if you do want to enter the latest competition, I will be announcing the winner tomorrow for either Infinity War Blu-ray, Ant-Man and the Wasp, or Deadpool Super Duper 2. And also I will be announcing the competition for the Hasbro Infinity Gauntlet at the end of this video. So Avengers 4 is called Endgame. Yes, I know it's called Endgame, but it's easier to say Avengers 4 than Avengers Endgame. So the title was said during Age of Ultron. So does this mean Ultron is key? Or does this mean Age of Ultron, the movie, is key? Now, I suggest if you're a Marvel fan, go back and watch that movie. So during the "we lose it" argument in Age of Ultron, this was said. Tony Stark, a hostile alien army came charging through a hole in space. We're standing 300 feet below it. We are the Avengers. We can bust arm dealers all day long. But that up there, that's the end game. How are you guys planning on beating that? So this is pretty pinnacle. So a recent theory came out, which is pretty cool. I can't give credit to the actual real source because I can't find the original story. But essentially, it says that in Age of Ultron, it foreshadows the death of Steve Rogers, Captain America, and also Tony Stark, Iron Man. We know that Chris Evans wants out. He wants to get off the train before you are pushed. So he basically confirmed that he's stepping away from the role of Captain America. Then we've had the Russo bros coming out and saying, no, he's not done. He's not done. Well, he is done because he's got other projects. So maybe I can't really trust anything they say. But yeah, there's a lot of indications in this movie, Age of Ultron, years ago. And this is the title for Avengers 4. So this movie is most prominent to the one again. So in the scene I just described, in the scene which the heroes discover Ultron has, for a lack of better term, escaped and is largely indestructible at this point. Tony reminds the heroes of the hostile alien army that came charging through a hole in space in the first Avengers movie. He refers to this as Endgame, and now we know this is the title, and asks how they plan on beating him. Steve replies simply, together. When Tony says we'll lose, then Steve says, there, do that together, which implies Iron Man and Captain America die, confirmed, revealed. But it kind of does foreshadow. It foreshadows their death. It could be pretty discreet foreshadow, but obviously the T'Challa invasion in the first Avengers film was the beginning of a very real sense of events leading to the decimation events in Infinity War. Ironically, it's now called the Decimation because the Avengers 4 prelude, the finger snap. It also would be keeping in what real fans thought all along about Endgame. The original Avengers would come full circle, meaning their stories would come to an end, in some cases including death. Considering the last time we truly saw Tony and Steve together, their friendship was destroyed. The two coming back together in one final mission before dying would be deeply fitting and impacting. And how do we know in the first trailer where Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, and Steve Rogers, Captain America, how do you know their plan isn't about how they're going to save Tony Stark? Because everyone knows where he is. People keep saying they don't know where he is, but Pepper knew where he was going, so all they'd have to do is talk to Pepper. So of course, the Age of Ultron foreshadowing in theory. But will Captain America make a personal sacrifice to save the day by volunteering himself for the Soul Stone in Volmir? If the theory is correct that they're going to create their own Stark Gauntlet, they're going to go back in time via the time vortex, or they could go to alternate realities, like I said, like Multiverse. But the most common concept, I guess you could say, is Tony Stark and Steve Rogers will go to Volmir, then Captain America will basically sacrifice himself in order to get the Soul Stone. Maybe that's how it's going to have to go down. Someone will have to die. Or perhaps there could be a pilot on an aircraft on a suicide mission. Maybe that could happen, because the first trailer points to Steve Rogers looking at Peggy car in that compass as a metaphor that Steve is going back for Peggy, either in death or sacrificing himself in time, which does sound pretty cool. But the first trailer's also foreshadowing two deaths. It would be iconic for both of the greatest MCU heroes ever. Okay, Captain America is questionable, but Iron Man definitely. The way they want you to perceive the first trailer is that Iron Man is going to die in space, even though NASA is getting involved, and I think it's Domino's Pizza's also saying, let me know when he's back and they can send him a bunch of pizza. So it's pretty funny that every big media, like everyone's trying to get involved with how is Tony Stark going to return. So how does Ultron come into this? Well, it's quite simple. Concept art from Avengers Infinity War Day 1 shows Tony standing opposite a collection of armors, reminiscent of the Iron Legion. Since Infinity War offered no opportunity for this to happen, maybe it could happen in Avengers Endgame. Having Ultron in Avengers Endgame would allow the story to almost come full circle and truly celebrate the 10-year 10-year history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it would make sense, and Ultron being resurrected by Iron Man would make a lot of sense if you think about it. So if no one's actually watched that movie, but it was a long time ago. So Ultron is essentially artificial intelligence peacekeeper program created by Tony Stark from the decrypted code deriving from the Mind Stone within Loki's own scepter, retooled by himself with the help of Bruce Banner, with the intent of being protector to the Earth from any and all domestic and extraterrestrial threats coming within the future. So that's why Tony Stark resurrecting Ultron would make a lot of sense. So we know Ultron was defeated in Avengers. We know that. When they stopped him, they stopped his programming from spreading to the rest of the world. Tony Stark mapped out power of the Mind Stone to create AI system to protect. But the best intention gains sentence and was almost immediately tainted, creating the anti-human extremist Ultron. And if you go back and look at it, I mean, we've had some really bad villains. Ultron wasn't actually a bad villain if you go back and look at it. The possibility of Ultron returning seems likely to a lot of fans. I think I did a video after Infinity War came out months ago about this. But since he was defeated after all, he didn't die. He didn't die. Well, how could he die when he is neither a human? He is a computer. He is just AI. So it makes sense. When Thanos got his hands on the Mind Stone from ripping it out of Vision, was the Mind Stone just a Mind Stone, or was the conscience of Ultron still in there? So Ultron's conscience from terrorizing Thanos, obviously during Avengers Infinity War, since it has been proven effective against them in the past, Ultron isn't dead. He could actually be inside the Mind Stone, or actually be the Mind Stone. He could have been controlling Vision all that time. He could have uploaded himself inside of Vision like a computer virus, and that is why Vision developed a romantic interest in Wanda, who is Scarlet Witch in Age of Ultron. It's clear that Ultron and Wanda have a strong sort of connection, and he even expressed concern for her. Now, if he was just AI bot, how could he do that? And throughout Infinity War, we've seen the emotional attachment that Wanda has to Vision. If the Mind Stone is only a stone, he wouldn't have been able to have a emotional relationship. And obviously we've seen the hardship she went through of destroying the Mind Stone, only to have time reversed by the Time Stone of Thanos, then for Wanda to see it happen all over again, which was pretty intense. Was one of the most intense scenes in the actual movie. I think maybe somehow Ultron predicted Thanos was coming and he realized he wouldn't have to do anything to realize his goals, instead opted for being with Wanda and Vision temporarily whilst he could stay there. So he isn't alive. He's not a human. He's not even organic. There are so many ways that Ultron could come back. He could even be recovered by some random computer hack. He could appear on a random computer because before he died, Ultron was steps ahead of the universe. So he obviously uploaded his consciousness onto a computer. So he can't die. And he always had a contingency plan if his demise, which essentially was them taking him out. So when Thanos took the Mind Stone off Vision, Ultron could have uploaded himself inside of Thanos without him even knowing it. So the idea of Iron Man resurrecting Ultron isn't that far-fetched, seeing as he's only AI and Iron Man actually made him. So we know that every single person under the sun seems to think that Tony Stark is going to make another Infinity Gauntlet so that he can go through the multiverse or the timeline to different periods, getting the stones, and that is how he is going to defeat Thanos, because ultimately Thanos isn't finished. I think everyone knows that because it said Thanos will return in Avengers 4. So ultimately I think Ultron could be key to taking out Thanos, because if Ultron gets anywhere near the Mind Stone or is still to do with the Mind Stone, then ultimately he could take over Thanos' mind without him even knowing about it. It's a very complex subject because within the MCU, yes, everyone can read the comic books, you can all read the Infinity Gauntlet storyline and obviously the Prelude comics and stuff, but that's not exactly how stuff works inside the MCU. The MCU isn't a rip-off of the comics. It's derived from the comics. It's kind of like the Flash TV show is derived from the comic books. It's based on the comic books, but it's got absolutely nothing to do with them really when it comes to how everything works. So if you are new to the channel, make sure to follow me on Twitter. I am running a 50,000 subscriber giveaway. All you got to do is follow me on Twitter at Warstu. My Twitter is always in the left-hand corner of every single video, and message me letting me know that you have followed me on there. The reason it's on there is because this is a really expensive prize for a tiny channel like mine, but let me know, do you agree that if you go back and watch Age of Ultron, it does confirm that Iron Man and Captain America will do everything. They will kill themselves to stop the Endgame and start the Endgame, because it said up there's Endgame. So that was cheeky wink. And do you think that Ultron is going to be key to defeating Thanos, or this supposed second threat that there's really no factual evidence except for a toy leak? I mean, you can't really go by toy leaks. Why not? Because there was a Funko Pop made of Hulk busting out of the Hulk Buster, but did that even happen? No. But for some reason, we live in the 21st century and everyone takes toy leaks, Lego leaks as factual. There was a scene in the toys from Avengers Infinity War that didn't even happen. It literally said they got the Infinity Gauntlet off Thanos in one of the toy Lego kind of descriptions, and it never happened. Even with the might of Iron Man, how strong Spider-Man is, you had them, you know the scene on Titan when they were trying to yank off the Infinity Gauntlet? Yeah, they got close, but they didn't get it off him. So just because a toy leak says something doesn't mean it's going to be factual. I'd really love someone like the Beyonder or Galactus or someone so OP. Beyonder's probably a bit too strong. I'd love them to set up the next villain, but let's be honest, after Avengers 4, it's going to be a really long time until we get another Avengers movie. Obviously, we know we're getting Spider-Man Far From Home in July, and then we're getting obviously the Black Widow movie, and then most likely Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, although they haven't really scheduled them properly. Obviously, Doctor Strange 2 is scheduled for 2021, but from what I'm hearing from a very good scooper, Black Widow is going to start shooting very soon in the next few months, which does make sense, and it would be pretty awesome. But that doesn't exclude Black Widow from actually dying in the movie. So guys, let me know all your comments down below, positive or negative. I do read them all, but I can't comment back to all of them. So guys, just please listen to the video before you say some obscure comment down below. Awesome, amazing comment. Just listen to the video and let me know what you think. And if you do have any business inquiries, you can always email me warstubusiness@gmail.com or any video requests down below, as I will be making a best top 5 movies of the year award kind of video, because I think it's pretty cool. I think it's absolutely horrible that Aquaman didn't even get nominated, didn't even get a nomination in the Oscars for best VFX. I mean, seriously, if you go watch Aquaman, you will agree with me that it's better than all of them. It's better than Infinity War. It's better than Black Panther. It's literally better than the CGI VFX in all of them, because 90% of the movie is underwater. It's fantastic. But yeah, I'm going to do a video of something to do like my top 10 comic book movies of the year, because there has been a lot of them. There's been Into the Spider-Verse, Aquaman, Infinity War, so many movies this year. So anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.